Sweet home Alabama. That was the stage for the biggest college football game of the week. Two undefeated teams, two SEC powerhouses. This game had everything except for Leonard Skinner themselves. Texas A&M and Alabama battle it out in Tuscaloosa. Bama would jump out to a quick lead right here. Jalen Hurts hits the big boy, O.J. Howard, for a 5-yard touchdown. Now, Howard led Bama with 69 yards receiving. That would put the Crimson Tide up 13-0. It's a big boy right there. But watch out, here goes those Aggies. Trevor Knight throws the beautiful back shoulder throw to Josh Reynolds. Now that capped an 80-yard drive and brought the Aggies within 6 at the half. To the third quarter, Aggies strike again. Trevor Knight lofts up a beauty off his back leg. Oh, Christian Kirk is the proud recipient of the touchdown. Now Knight threw for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. A&M would take the lead 14-13, but here comes Bama. They answer back. Hurts hits Calvin Ridley for the 4-yard touchdown. Now, Hurts had 164 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day as well, and Alabama would go on to close out strong and win 33-14. The Crimson Tide just cannot be stopped. They will, though, eventually. And it's been a while since we've seen Houston put together a dominant performance. After losing to Navy 2 weeks ago and barely squeaking past Tulsa last week, that begs the question, Houston, where have you gone? Well, I don't know where they went, but Houston, we do have a problem. Cougars hoping to keep playoff hopes alive. In the first, SMU quarterback Ben Hicks runs it in for a 1-yard touchdown. That capped an 88-yard drive and put the Mustangs up 7-0. To the second, Houston down 21-0, and just call on Greg Ward Jr. The Tyler native throws a jump ball to Steve Dunbar, and Dunbar brings it down for the 5-yard touchdown. That's a big boy play. Now, Ward ended up throwing for 241 yards and 2 touchdowns, but unfortunately, the Cougars go down 38-16. Talk about an upset. Now, it's the second loss in the last 3 games for Houston. Oh, got to turn it around. And to the Big 12, last week, the Longhorns got that desperate win that they were looking for. But this week, they're going against a team that seems to have their number. Kansas State has beat Texas in 6 of their last 8 meetings, and the Wildcats would get out to a fast start. In the second, Jesse Ertz is back looking for a receiver, can't find anyone, and he just penetrates through the whole defense. That's his second rushing touchdown of the day. He also threw for another. That put Kansas State up 14-0, but as we all know, the Longhorns would strike back. Ensuing drive for Texas, and Shane Buechele throws up a beauty for Devin Duvernay, and he has nothing but green in front of him. That's that prime real estate. 80-yard touchdown. Buechele threw for 222 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns. That would bring the Longhorns within 7. To the fourth, Longhorns trailing by 10, and Buechele rips one into Dorian Leonard for the 8-yard touchdown. That would bring Texas within 3, but they would fail to recover the onside kick. The Longhorns lose to Kansas State for the 5th straight time in Kansas. And looks like Charlie Strong is back on the hot seat again. None of the teams have won so far. But coming up next, the TJC soccer team was in action tonight, looking to remain undefeated on the season. Plus, Texas College was hoping to put on a show in front of their homecoming crowd. Oh, those highlights right after the break. Don't go anywhere. Well, let's move on a little closer to home. Texas College was back on the gridiron today, still looking for their first win of the season. Now, maybe the homecoming crowd would give them the energy that they need to get the W. Our own Ryan Moy was there to capture the action here. They're coming out fired up. Steers QB Sean Steele with the handoff to Carlos Mosby, and Mosby goes 0 to 100 real quick as he gets into the end zone. That put Texas College up 7-0. Wayland Baptist, though, would respond. They're getting a little crunk in the stands. QB Mitchell Parsley with the handoff to Gerald Peterson. He's in for the touchdown. That would tie the game at 7-7. Later in the second quarter, Texas College's Sean Steele throws long to Philip Collier. I love that last name. And Collier gets in for the TD, making it 14-7. Didn't even mess his dreadlocks up and does a nice little dance there. Don't know what that's called. Unfortunately, Wayland Baptist would make a serious comeback. The Pioneers beat the Steers 41-14, and yep, the Steers still remain winless on the season. All right, well, let's kick it. We'll end with a little bit of soccer action here. The Apaches hosting Jacksonville tonight. In the first, Apaches driving. Sean Stocker He gets denied. Right after that, Freddie Ortega tries to kick it in. He barely misses it. It goes off the rail there. And, you know, it didn't matter that they missed those two because they would eventually come back and hit 4 in the second half. And with those 4 in the second half, they would go on to take the victory. And get this, TJC remains unbeaten on the season and has won 18 games straight. So I know pretty much every team that I showed tonight lost. So it's good to end on a team.
At least TJC, our local team.
Exactly, getting it done too. And they're still undefeated. They're incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that update. Finally tonight,